Hello everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Hopefully you're doing well. In this session, we are going to talk about types of communications. As you know, that communication can be of various kinds depending upon the need and the requirement of the audience or the participants. So we communicate differently. First one is intrapersonal communication, whereas the second one is interpersonal communication. And as you can see, the third one is small group communication, and the fourth one, uh, which is available before you, is public communication. All these types of communications differ from each other in various aspects regarding their usage and utility as far as communication or the process of communication is concerned. The first one is intrapersonal communication. It is a kind of communication that occurs within us. It involves thoughts, feelings, and the way we look at ourselves. So, in a way, it is talking to ourselves or the communication that takes place within our own mind, and in a way we talk to ourselves. So intrapersonal communication is centered in the self. Therefore, you are the only receiver and the sender as well. So you send the message to your own brain, and your own brain receives the message. As you know, that the receiver and sender both are extremely important for the process of communication. The message is made up of your thoughts and feelings. The channel is your brain, which possesses what you are thinking and feeling. So there is the feedback in the sense that you talk to yourself or discard certain ideas or replace them with other ideas in your own mind when you keep on reading books, and then you keep on thinking and contemplating or updating your own mental software by discarding the old ideas and replacing them with the new ideas. So you are not directly communicating with others in intrapersonal communication. Rather, you experience whatever you experience, and the kind of talk and discussion to yourself. For example, if you had a good day, you're likely to talk to yourself in a positive way. If the teacher was displeased with your work, oh, if you had a fight with a fellow student, you are likely to focus more on the depression or anger. So if your day is positive, then definitely your mood will be similarly positively happy. But if your day is negative, or disappointment is there, or someone had a kind of rough argument with you, then the kind of influence upon you would be uh, pessimistic. So this type of communication is talking to yourself, such as soliloquies or monologues in dramas you might have observed, there where the characters talk to themselves, is intrapersonal communication. The second type of communication is interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication occurs when we communicate on one-to-one basis, usually in an informal, unstructured setting. So in a kind of informal setting or a casual setting, this kind of communication occurs mostly between two people. It can have more people, but it is normally two people that are required for this type of communication to take place. Interpersonal communication uses all elements of communication process in a conversation between friends. For example, each brings his or own background or experience to the conversation, outing the conversation. Each function as receiver and sender as well. So each function, each individual, whosoever is speaking becomes the sender, and whosoever is listening becomes the receiver. The message consists of both verbal as well as non-verbal symbols. The channel that you use are mostly sight, visual, and auditory or sound. And because interpersonal communication is between two or few people, it differs greatly in opportunity or feedback. Psychological noise is likely to be minimal because each person can see whether the other person is distracted or other person is paying attention. The persons involved in this conversation have many chances to check the message is being perceived correctly or not. So your feedback can be instantly received from the expressions, gestures, or the kind of ignoring attitude by the other participant. So this type of communication, interpersonal communication, usually takes place in informal as well as in comfortable setting, so where everybody is at ease. So third type of communication is a small group communication. Small group communication occurs when a number of the people and the meet to solve a problem. The group must be small enough to so that each member in the group has a chance to interact. So normally 4 to 5 people can be grouped together in this type of communication. Because small group are made up of several senders and receiver, the communication process is more complicated than in interpersonal communication, where the chances of feedback were very frequent. Whereas in this type of communication, people might digress, or people might slip from the conversation. So with so many more people sending messages, there are more chances of for confusion. Messages are for also structured in small group, and they use the channel as well as in interpersonal communication. However, there is also a good deal of opportunity for feedback. So you can see the other people's attitude and expression before you. So this type of communication can be used for problem solving nature. Small groups usually meet in a more formal setting than the people involved in interpersonal communication. So here the agenda of discussion or personal communication takes place in small group communication. So fourth one in this series is public communication. Public communication, sender and the receiver. As you could see, the speaker sends a message to an audience, to the people who listen. The speaker and the usually delivers a highly structured message using the same channel as in interpersonal communication or small group communication. So message is very structured, very formal, very deliberate, and very delicate. In public communication, the channels are more exaggerated than in interpersonal communication, because the number of the people involved in this communication are higher than the previous types of communication. The voice is louder, the gestures are more expensive, body gestures, body language, because you are interacting with the bigger audience. In order to do that, you have to use your hand movements, your body gestures, and those gestures could help you to convey your message easily. The speaker and the might also use additional visual aids such as slides, through multimedia, flip charts, and so on. So these types of devices or audio visual aids could also help the speaker. So the opportunity for the verbal feedback in public communication is limited. The audience and the members have a chance to ask question at the end of the speech, and but usually and they are not free to address the speaker as he or she is talking. However, they can send non-verbal gestures by showing, by nodding their faces, or by showing their hands or hand movement, or by clapping, or by showing some types of body signal. So if they like what the speaker is saying, they may interrupt the speaker with applause or clapping. And if they like what the speaker is saying, they may interrupt with an applause, and then they can ask the question. But if they don't like what the speaker is saying, then they move around a lot, simply stop paying attention. In most of the public communication, the setting is very formal. So we talked about four types of communication. First one was intrapersonal communication that took place within the mind of an individual. The second one was interpersonal communication that took place between two people. And third one was small group communication that took place between 4 to 5 people, and which had more formal type of communication as compared to previous two types of communication. And the last one is public communication, where the public speeches take place, such as in seminars or in symposiums or in conferences, where one individual usually delivers the message and the rest of the population keeps on paying the attention. So these are this four types of communication that take place in this time period or in this era. So thank you for your listening and paying attention.